Allman in the Morning. Common Sense Radio.
Good morning, you bunch of drunks.
Looks like I still can't explain this letter that went out yesterday that had Peter Kinder's name on it, Jane Cunningham's name on it, and Jack Danforth's name on it, urging Josh Hawley to run for the U.S. Senate, which was clearly a shot at Ann Wagner. There's no question about that. Dr. Tobler in with a little insight perhaps into that and others.
We're about to enter the fascinating sphere of medicine.
From the cave, filled with water, weaponry, and all kinds of love, Dr. Randy Tobler.
Dr. Tobler, how you doing, friend?
What's going on? Glad I made the flight, wasn't dragged off. To be on with you.
Yeah,
Holy
right.
cow, what an amazing story. And they say they were just following policy. That's wild.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, John is on the line. He says we made it the gate agent level, not the corporate level. But believe me, the corporate level will be the one to account for it. Won't be the gate agent.
That's another one of those. It's it reminds me of a Susan Rice issue. Just because it's legal doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If apparently that's okay by some kind of standards in their policies. Hey, I don't know. You think this is a shot over the bow, maybe from? Well, of course. Why would John Danforth's name be on it? I'm thinking if this is a shot over the bow to sort of get some new blood, and I like Ann. Ann's a fine person, but maybe it's sort of an anti-establishment run.
Yeah, but from weird. Jack Danforth?
That's what doesn't make sense. I don't know.
Jack Danforth and Jane Cunningham couldn't be more opposite in terms of their. Well, I don't know, their approaches. I mean, John Danforth is no slouch when it comes to Republican policy, that kind of stuff. But I'm just saying that they're different birds. And even to have Kinder in there, although, obviously Peter Kinder was not supported by Ann Wagner in the governor's race, or at least, publicly. I mean, I think that her camp, although they didn't make a formal endorsement, I don't recall, but they supported Catherine Hanaway. So I don't know, maybe there's something like that going on. I don't know.
It's interesting. I mean, look, I think any strong candidate, and Josh Hawley would be a strong candidate, although he's still, he'd be a sophomore at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know whether there's enough experience there and enough statewide, despite his statewide office. I don't know if he's got enough statewide record and gravitas to do that. But, boy, I don't know if there's any Democratic senator in the whole United States that is more vulnerable than Claire McCaskill.
Oh, yeah.
You?
Well, especially since she just screwed herself by supporting this filibuster approach, which right after telling donors she didn't think it was a good idea. I mean, I think she's a mess.
No, absolutely right. And I think she's got enough of establishment baggage among her own party that I think she'd have a heck of a time surmounting any credible challenge from, and again, sort of that, individual rebel-esque kind of an attitude. And I think Josh is able to portray that during his campaign. He's well-spoken. He's quick on his feet. I think he could certainly do it, but it'll be interesting to see who else might throw their hat in the ring.
Well, I know that the Claire McCaskill camp is keeping their eye on Jason Kander, who clearly still has a thirst and considers his showing in 2016 against Roy Blunt to be a success. And so, he might primary her. But we'll see.
Well, that would be interesting. But I'd love to see again any credible upcoming Republican. Heck, Paul Kurtman. I mean, I could think of a bunch of names that could just kick either of their butts, and it wouldn't even be close. So bring it on is what I say. I mean, assuming that there's any more accomplishment in the federal level on the part of the Republicans and Donald Trump, hoping they can get a little more consensus and get some things done. I think you'll see that momentum carry into the next election. Of course, it could go absolutely the other way and go totally south, too, if there's more infighting.
Other names on that list are guys who you may not know, but politicians do because they are hugely wealthy. One of the guys basically owns Branson, and the other guy is David Humphreys. So we'll see how that whole thing works out. But we will be tuning in Saturday morning for the Randy Tobler Show.
All righty, man. We'll see you
then. Okay, buddy.
Thanks.
Thank you.